also to take a moment to thank those of you who have written to tell us how much you enjoy Product Presentation 89. We know many of you have found the show to be a successful training tool. And a bit later in today's show, we'll share with you a story from Houston, Texas, where a group of dealerships are working on their own Product Presentation 89. Our selected automobile for today is the '89 Chevrolet Corsica, Chevrolet's hot new family sedan. Our salesperson is Winston Lindsley of JKJ Chevrolet. Winston's background takes about as many turns as the plot of a good Agatha Christie mystery novel. Working as an auto mechanic in California, Winston saw a news story about how Arab nations were importing thousands of automobiles every year. Realizing they must need mechanics, Winston headed for the Middle East and landed in Abu Dhabi, a country about the size of Connecticut. After a stint there, which included installing televisions and a few Sheik's limousines, Winston returned to the United States only to go back to the Middle East with a motorhome outfitted as a rolling auto mechanic shop. Eventually, Winston returned to the U.S. and made the move from under the hood to the showroom floor as the top salesperson at JKJ Chevrolet. Shopping the Chevrolet Corsica today is Larry Witt. Now, Larry is an engineer shopping for a family sedan that will provide good economy of operation without minimizing safety. Now on to today's walk-around presentation of the Chevrolet Corsica with the salesman Winston Lindsley. Watch how Winston will use the window sticker to build value in his product, discuss available optional equipment, and deal with the question of fuel economy.
Larry, this is the four-door Corsica model you were asking me about. Is this the right color for you?
Yes, it is. It's what I was looking for, yes.
Great. It also comes in two other models, the LTZ sedan and the hatchback sedan. This base model, which I'm showing you now, has a base list price of $9,985 and comes standards with features such as power steering, power front wheel disc, and rear wheel drum brakes. A 2-liter electronically fuel-injected 4-cylinder engine is teamed with a very smooth shifting 5-speed German-designed hydraulic manual transmission.
What type of options are available on this one here?
Well, this car has intermittent wipers, tilt steering wheel, cruise control, air conditioning, auxiliary lighting, tinted glass. The 2.8-liter multi-port fuel-injected V6 engine is teamed with an automatic transmission.
I see. Are they on the column or the console on these models? Or
It can come either way. This one is on a console, but you can also get it on the column as well.
Okay.
Now, the base model 2-liter engine will give you 25 miles per gallon on the city and 35 miles per gallon on the highway, which makes it a very affordable car to drive. This engine gives you 20 city and 27 highway.
I see.
Is that the kind of mileage you're looking for?
Yes, it is.
Terrific, fantastic. Let me show you the engine compartment.
I'd love to see it. Thank you.
Winston does a great job at the sticker and shows you one of the reasons we suggest you start there. While dealing with the customer's question about pricing, Winston also sells both the standard and optional features that are available. Plus, beginning at the sticker gives him the opportunity to address fuel economy. After pointing out the Corsica's EPA ratings, Winston then gets that all-important tie-down by asking Larry, is that the kind of mileage you're looking for? By asking the question and getting an affirmative answer, Winston has matched this car to one of Larry's important needs. Now let's move on and take a look under the hood of the Corsica.
Larry, there's a clear view under the hood for easy serviceability. Key fluid checks are easy to see, clearly labeled, and easy to reach. This is the optional 2.8-liter multi-port fuel-injected engine. Now, with your engineering background, you'll probably appreciate the fact that, well, in the old days, we used to inject fuel directly into the combustion chamber, where the injectors used to get very hot and dirty. This system sprays a precise amount of fuel into the inlet ports of the cylinder head, where they stay cool and clean. It's controlled by an onboard computer command control system, which monitors the altitude, barometric pressure, the oxygen content in the exhaust, as well as the ambient and engine temperatures.
What type of warranty do we have with this particular engine here?
Well, it's covered under the emission control warranty, which is 5 years and 50,000 miles. Now, that covers your computer command control, your catalytic converter, parts of the fuel system as they relate to the emission controls, and of course the emission controls themselves. The basic warranty on the car is 3 years and 50,000 miles, bumper to bumper, for any warrantyable repair. There is a $100 deductible after the first year.
I see. You know, I'm really concerned about the power and performance on this engine. Could you tell me some more about that?
Well, one thing I can say about this engine is no matter what the temperature is outside, you turn the key and this baby starts right up. You step on the gas and there's no doubt or hesitation about it at all. This car just takes off and goes.
Under the hood, Winston touches on all of the usual features, ease of maintenance and warranty, plus he's well prepared to answer Larry's question about power and performance of the Corsica. Did you also notice how he got Larry involved in understanding the technical aspects of the car when talking about the electronic fuel injection and deferring to Larry's engineering background? Next, we move to position 3, the front of the car.
Larry, come on down here with me. You see that panel down there?
Yeah, what is that?
That's an air dam. That allows air to go into the engine and keeps the engine cool.
I see.
Also, up here you've got a 5-mile-per-hour wraparound bumper.
Is that for crashes or what?
Yeah, if you have a minor crash up to 5 miles per hour, it'll do no damage to the bumper at all.
I see.
Also, you've got the flush-mounted composite halogen headlamps. They're 25% brighter than the conventional tungsten filament beams.
They're kind of strange. What are they, 4, 5, 6 bulbs? What do you have in there?
You have 4 bulbs, and it's very easy to service. If the bulbs burn out, you just replace the bulbs like a normal light bulb.
Great, okay.
Well, if you like this, take a look at that flush-mounted windshield moldings. An aircraft-inspired door-into-roof panel design. The dual sport mirrors and the door handles that are flush all contribute to Corsica's low coefficient of drag. This car slices through the air at less than 0.33 drag coefficient. That's better than Porsche 944, Ford, and a lot of compact cars in its class.
You know, I really hadn't noticed that when I first saw it. It's great.
Well, if you like this, you haven't seen anything yet. Come on over to the side.
Sure.
Again, at the front of the car, Winston covers all the bases. Aerodynamic styling, halogen headlights, 5-mile-per-hour bumpers, and easy maintenance on the headlamps. One thing you might do differently than Winston. You'll recall how Winston explained that all of that aerodynamic styling and flush-mounted glass resulted in a very low drag coefficient for the Corsica. Winston drops the point there, no doubt realizing that as an engineer, Larry is probably familiar with the benefits of low drag. But if your customer is not an engineer, don't forget to tie that feature of low drag to a benefit for the customer, such as improved fuel economy and a smoother ride. Bringing both the feature and its benefit home to the customer is what makes a good product presentation.
Larry, I'd like to show you a few things on the side of the car now.
Okay.
Take a look at this lower rocker panel molding. This helps prevent from damage from stone chipping or wheel wash. Also, take a look at this high gloss shine of the paint. This is a result of a 2-coat paint process from Chevrolet. The base coat is the color coat, and then there's a second coat which allows the car to have a very high gloss shine.
I see. You know, I live in a part of the country that we're concerned with this acid rain. I was just wondering, do they have anything to protect against that? You know?
We sure do. This year, Chevrolet came out with a bulletin that showed us how to remove acid rain from our paint's finish. So we don't consider that to be a problem anymore.
I see.
Take a look at this rear seat shoulder harness. In 1986, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration reported the installation of rear seat shoulder harnesses do provide extra protection. They're now standard in most of our Chevrolet models, in the back seat as well as the front seat.
Is that for 2 passengers, 3 passengers, or?
It's for 2 in the front and the two outboard seats in the rear.
I see. Okay.
Back here, we have the fuel filler drawer opener. There's a little resting place here for the fuel cap, so you don't leave it in the rear deck or on the pump where you might forget about it when you drive off.
My wife's going to love that. She really is.
It's a very nice feature.
Yes.
Also, all-season steel-belted radial ply tires with McPherson strut front suspension.
So the tires, what type of warranty do we have on that?
The tires are the one part of the car that the tire manufacturer warranties itself.
I see.
So if you have a problem with the tires, take it back to the tire company.
Are these standard wheels for the car? Okay.
Yes, they are. 14-inch tires, too.
I see.
Come on back to the trunk, and I'll show you a few things back here.
Here at the side of the car, Winston shows the value of good product knowledge. For example, how many times are you asked about protection from acid rain? For most of you, it's probably not very often. But Winston was aware of his product knowledge enough to know that Chevrolet had issued a special service bulletin and has a repair plan in place to deal with acid rain. Could he have made the point stronger? Perhaps. Maybe Winston could have emphasized to Larry how the clear coat finish is designed to offer an extra measure of protection to the paint color. And he might also have added a reassuring word about the excellent service department at his dealership in the event he actually suffered any paint damage. But Larry seems satisfied, knowing Chevrolet was prepared to deal with the potential of acid rain damage, and that's the important fact. Satisfy the customer. If acid rain is a real concern for Larry, chances are it will surface again at some point before the sale is completed, giving Winston another chance to deal with it. Now let's move on to the trunk.
Back in the rear, you'll notice that the trunk opens just above the taillight lens, and that makes loading a lot easier. Inside, you'll find a wide-load flat floor with 13.5 cubic feet of storage capacity. Underneath this mat are all the instructions you need to change the spare tire. And underneath that, you've got your jack and spare tire. We like to use a space-saver spare tire because it cuts down the weight of the vehicle and increases your cargo capacity. Also, we have 5-mile-per-hour bumpers in the rear of the car as well.
Same as the front, then, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
And you'll notice wraparound taillight lenses for improved taillight visibility.
I see.
Now let me take you to the inside of the car, and I'll show you a few more things.
Great.
Admittedly, there's not a lot to talk about at the trunk, but Winston does cover all the bases. The convenience of the wide flat floor, the space-saver tire, and the safety-oriented wraparound taillights. One suggestion we'd offer here is always try to relate trunk space to some activity of the customer. Talking cubic footage means very little to most people, unless, like Larry, they're an engineer. Remember, the space is the feature. What it does for the customer is the benefit. If the customer is a golfer, for example, relate the space as room for his clubs as well as those of the rest of his weekend foursome. Perhaps there's enough room for 15 to 20 bags of groceries for a family. Or for the traveling salesperson, it's enough room for luggage and 2 large sales cases. Identify the customer's need, find a feature that meets it, and then be certain to explain the benefit or how that feature meets that need. Okay, let's step inside and take a look around. Notice that Winston does as we suggest. Place the customer in the passenger seat and position himself behind the wheel, ready to start on the demonstration drive as soon as the presentation is completed.
Larry, when you take delivery of your new Corsica, you'll get 2 sets of keys. The round one fits the door and the square one fits the ignition. You'll notice on the keys that there's a little knockout key plug that has a key number on it.
Okay.
Take that number to any GM dealer or a good locksmith and they'll make you a new set of keys.
All right.
Keep them in a safe place, but not in your car.
Okay.
This seat adjustment is a 4-way adjustment. You'll notice the way I'm sitting now that all the weight is on my spine. When I push this lever and rock the whole chair back, it moves the weight from my spine to my thighs and my legs. This is a real blessing if you have a back problem.
Let's see what it would be, yes.
Over here, your air conditioner controls. Maximum recirculates the inside air, and normal brings outside fresh air in on the upper vents. Bi-level does the same thing, but it blows it out the upper and lower vents.
Okay.
Then it's just fresh air in the upper vents.
Right.
And the heater uses the lower vents. The fogger in the warmer months will turn on your air conditioner to dehumidify the air before it blows up on the windshield.
I see. Okay.
This is your heater control here, and this is your blower switch here.
Right.
This is the power button for your radio. You can adjust the volume here and also recalls the station and time.
Right.
Down here, you can select your stations. It also shows you AM and FM.
Okay.
This also has Seek and Scan. Scan scans the radio stations from station to station, and Seek will just go to the next stronger station. There's a little trick about setting these 4 buttons. Let's say you scan out this station. Push this set button, and this first channel button, it'll lock on to that station whenever you want to bring it back up. Seek out another station, push the set button, and this channel, it'll lock into that station.
I see.
Now the third button, you push the set button just like you did before, but you push 2 buttons in at the same time, and you'll see that you have 1, 2, 3 stations
Oh, okay.
using 2 buttons. And any 2 combination of the buttons will work.
I see.
You can see that really expands your range of station settings on this radio.
Right.
Up here are your wiper controls.
Okay.
The more you push this wiper button up,
Right.
the less delay you have.
I see.
Then you go to low and high. And from the off position, one push down will give you a 1-wipe mist.
All right.
Over here is your cruise control. Push this little switch on the turn signal lever to turn it on. gain the desired speed you wish to maintain, and push this set button. Let's say you push it at 50 miles per hour.
Right.
Now, I've noticed about 90% of GM owners don't know how to properly use the cruise control. A lot of salesmen, too. Here's the trick. If you're going 50 miles an hour and you want to go to, say, 54, just push this little Excel button, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the computer in the cruise control will remember how many times you tapped it and accelerate precisely 1 mile for every tap.
Okay.
Or in this case, 4 miles per hour to 54.
Right.
You want to go to 56? No problem. 1, 2, and it goes up to 56.
And it's right at your fingertips there.
Very easy to do.
Yes, that's
Ever
great.
so gently will do it. If you hit the brake, the cruise control will go off. Push this button again, and it'll resume to the speed you were maintaining before you hit the brake.
Okay.
If you're behind a truck and you want to pass them, no problem. Just push down on the accelerator pedal, pass the truck, and let the accelerator pedal go, and the cruise will take over from there.
Okay.
Over here are your headlights. You'll notice the headlight warning chime,
Right.
which will help save your battery in case you forget to turn the lights off, like I sometimes do.
Okay.
Also, we have a 6-position tilt steering wheel. Now, there are a couple of different engines that Chevrolet makes, so I'd like to go over starting carbureted and fuel-injected engines both with you.
All right.
There has been a little bit of confusion about this. On a carbureted engine, you should pump the gas when you're turning the key to start. I pump it about 3 or 4 times. However, on a fuel-injected engine, you must not pump the gas at all. What I do is turn the key to on for about 4 or 5 seconds and let the fuel pump build up pressure. Turn the key to start, and the engine will start right up. If in the event it doesn't, after 7 or 8 seconds, you can push down on the gas pedal about a third of the way.
All right.
But you probably will never have to do that. So for carbureted engines, you do pump the gas. For fuel-injected engines, you do not.
All right.
The careful maintenance that you give your car is also very important. One thing I think you'll notice is when it comes to service, JKJ could have written the book. We'd like to establish a partnership relationship with us. JKJ Chevrolet decided years ago that to be the most successful Chevrolet dealership in the United States, we must have a sensitive service department to maintain old customers, create new ones, and to make people want to do business with JKJ Chevrolet. Giving good service to me means, well, doing all the little things right the first time. It's a total dealership commitment to assuring your satisfaction with your new Chevrolet. We now have direct satellite communications to General Motors for technology sharing that brings us even further into this new age of efficiency and pride in American workmanship. Ari, we'd like to hear from you 6 months down the road that you consider Chevrolets to be the best built car in the world, and I'm personally committed to assuring your satisfaction with your new Chevrolet.
Sounds great.
Well, now that you've heard me talk about the car for all this time, what do you say we start up and we'll drive down to downtown D.C. and you can actually feel what it's like to drive the heartbeat of America in our nation's capital.
Sounds good.
All right,
Let's
come
go
on.
ahead.
Let's go.
Once inside the Corsica, Winston goes very smoothly through the basic features of the car, showing all the convenience features such as the 6-position tilt wheel and the adjustable seats. Throughout this part of his presentation, Winston begins to paint a mental picture of ownership for Larry with phrases like, when you take delivery and 6 months down the road. This type of language helps Larry begin to visualize himself in his new car. And once the customer makes a mental commitment to ownership, you close the sale. Good job, Winston, and we appreciate your being with us today. Now, before we go, I understand that you have a unique way of getting customers to remember you and your product. How exactly do you do this?
Tom, when I meet a customer, I have a 45-minute video presentation that I give my customers to take home. It covers model lineup, vehicle operations, warranty. I have one of the service advisors introduce themselves to the customer. He's my service advisor, and he goes over everything you need to know about checking under the hood. And we have a restaurant in our dealership, and we show them the restaurant, the night drop-off. Basically, the video covers everything you need to know about buying, owning, and operating a Chevrolet from JKJ.
Very interesting. Now, what's the reaction to this tape been? And what kind of investment did you have to make to get it completed?
It's been very effective. It helped me become the #1 salesman in our dealership. And it only cost me about $5,000. I hired some of the local college students to shoot it. And I'd say it was well worth the investment.
Well, that's super, Winston. I don't know if all of you watching are interested in putting together such a tape, but it's obviously a tool that works for Winston. You may want to consider a shorter version, which could cost less to produce. Maybe the dealership already has such a tape or an interest in producing one, and the cost could be shared. Sounds like an interesting subject for your next sales meeting. Now, speaking of tools that work, we mentioned earlier in the show that we've heard from many of you about how you've put product presentation to work in your dealership. Well, one company has gone even further, sponsoring their own product presentation